Another beautiful day here in the Windy City, here in beautiful Elk Grove Village in the studios of Ocean Spit. Little show about big things Monday through Friday at noon. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, and give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show, folks. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, but mostly we like to dedicate to people like you who take the time and watch the show on all five of the social media outlets. We got a great show lined up for you guys today. We got my good friend Mike and Tracy from Good Clean Fun and Carol King, Neil Diamond show they're doing, and the new Taylor Swift experience. We're going to talk a lot about Taylor. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about everything else that's going on in this crazy world. Anyway, folks, let's get right to our sponsors, and very, very important. Let's hit our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, and now in Mesa, Arizona. Hey guys, how about get some of those great Carhartt jackets and clothes? February 5th through February 18th, they're 20% off all. Carhartt includes coupons for Valentine's gift. Ace Rewards thank you sale February 9th to February 11th. Ace Rewards members receive 20% off regular price items. Ace basic pleated service filters. That's right. Buy three, get one free through the February 29th. And they cut car key program. 50% cheaper than the dealership when you want to get your new car keys made. That's our get ready for the Super Bowl, folks. The Ace is the place. The grills, believe it or not, grills, accessories, large variety of rubs, spices. You make their game experience a winning one. They offer free assembly and delivery on grills, accessories, $300 and up. Our good friends from Ace Hardware is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. That's a lot to say. Anyway, yes, folks. Also, don't forget, I want to thank my co-host every Tuesday, Twisted Tuesday with Carol Brandolino. That's right, folks. Carol Brandolino every Tuesday. She's brought to you by Encore, Brandolino Encore Music in Shorewood, Illinois. Every Tuesday, make sure you watch us. She's fantastic. She's a whippersnapper, boy. She knows how to do it. I'm excited. We have a great show lined up. Let's get rid of a couple more things. Every band, every business, it needs a publicist to make it work. You want to get your name out in the public eye, radio, TV, magazines. One guy, Bill Gates, once said, if I was down to my last marketing dollar, I'd spend it on public relations. Pretty good advice from a guy that's worth $100 billion, even though I don't agree with his political views. But still, he is worth a lot of money. And Bernie DeMayo and DeMayo Partners is the guys. They get you guys on television, radio, newspapers. Go to BernieDeMayo.com or give him a call at 312-217-5658. Bernie DeMayo. And one last one for the first part of the show, Mary Grievous. That's right, Mary Grievous, everybody. Real estate at its finest. Buying or selling in the Chicagoland area? The perfect real estate professional, whether you're putting your home on the market or looking for your dream home. Give her a call today. She can assist on buyers, sellers, for sale by owners, and expired listings. Berkshire, Hathaway, Stark, Real Estate. That's M. Grievous, StarkRE.com, or give her a call at 630-688-1725. All right, Mary Grievous. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show lined up for you guys today. Busy week. Tomorrow we'll be at Are We Live in Burridge, Illinois, with Jerry James and Lisa P. Third Friday, we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg with Double T Tony. And Saturday, Villaggio in Roselle. Super Bowl Sunday is going to be fantastic. The San Francisco 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs should be interesting. They say it's going to be the most watched football game ever in NFL history. And it's going to be the most expensive. To buy a ticket, it starts off cheapest in the bleachers is $8,000. Let's say hello to everybody before we bring up our guys. Kathy, how you doing? We have Santa Barbara, Ellie Weinhardt, Mike Batt, the hot dog man is in the house. Daryl Arminstar, Richard, how you doing? My good friend Buddy's in the house. Oh, this is good. We got some good people watching here today. Hello, Ohio. Patrick Haig, how you doing? All right, so so it's going to be very interesting. And before we get to, I was just talking about, I don't know if you guys watch sports or anything like that. I'm a big New York Knicks fan. I've always been a New York fan. My father was a New York Knicks fan, and my uncle. So we're always, Kim, how you doing, hon? I hope you're doing well. Kim from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Albert, of course, from the Ronald Nesty organization. How you doing? Anyway, big Nick fan, and they're doing very, very good this year so far. Rumor has it that maybe LeBron James is looking for a trade. Could he end up with the New York Knicks? I think that would be a good fit, even though I'm not that much of a LeBron fan, but anything he can do, probably jump ship to do what he's got to do to win. Great show lined up. Kim Good. We're going to have my good buddy Michael and Tracy from Good Clean Fun. They also have a whole bunch of stuff they got going on. The Carole King, Neil Diamond show, and they have the new Taylor Swift experience, which is hot. Taylor Swift is a hot topic right now. So without any further ado, let's get them. Let's bring. Okay, wait. Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Michael and Tracy, Good Clean Fun, Taylor Swift experience in the house, lunchtime fun. How you guys doing?
Hi.
Doing good. How are you?
Good. It's like selling health insurance. Hi.
Yeah. Hello. Nice to see you today.
Nice to see you again. So what have you guys been up to? Before we get to Taylor, what else? What's going on with Good Clean Fun?
Oh my gosh. We've been performing in Illinois, Indiana, New York, Connecticut,
Oconomowoc.
Florida. We just got back from Florida a couple weeks ago, and we're going back next weekend to play at a couple country clubs. Mike's got to fly back to New York for some dinner dances, and it's been busy.
We're almost as busy as Tony Ocean.
Almost as busy.
Well, I'm glad you guys are busy, but I asked this to you guys before. I'm not quite sure if you guys, I don't know if maybe Tracy ever, but now, Tracy, what's the difference you see when you're performing, like if you're Florida or New York, compared to here in Illinois, the audience?
Well, New York, we only go out there for private events usually. It's
but still, it's how they come across to you compared to if you did a private event in Illinois. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes. What do you think?
Difference between New York versus Illinois?
Yeah, it's funny. There's a lot of DJs in the Midwest at weddings. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
But on the East Coast, especially in New York, upstate New York, Hamptons, on the North Fork of Long Island, you're not going to find anybody hiring a DJ for a wedding. You only see live bands. You only see live music. And they are very into the entertainment at their wedding or at their dinner dance. They like to show off the fact that they have a 10-piece band with a horn section, or that they have live musicians or a string quartet for their cocktail hour and their ceremony. It's very, very different than it is here in the Midwest for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know, but I always said that. I remember when I used to play New York a lot, they would watch the performance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they wouldn't, sometimes I remember a little place in Little Italy, they wouldn't even talk. They'd watch the performer, and sometimes the maitre d' would come by and go, while they're singing. I think maybe it's because of the whole Broadway thing in New York. Maybe that's how I think more music. The music thing is more
prevalent, prominent.
Yeah, I think so too. What about in Florida?
Let's see. We did country clubs out there.
Country clubs.
They seem to be into doing their own thing.
Yeah,
we're background music.
It's different at country clubs. You're kind of hired for the ambiance and not necessarily for the entertainment value.
Yeah.
Sometimes
the hoi polloi, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, see, and that makes sense. And I think they're a little bit more laid back out there too. They're just doing what they're doing. So that's good. I'm glad you guys are keeping yourself busy, as you guys always been. You guys do work your asses off. I have to admit about that, which is good. And you're always trying to come up with something new. Tell me, what about this Neil Diamond and Carole King? First of all, are you guys fans of Neil Diamond and Carole King?
So I don't know that as an entertainer, you have to be a fan of the music that you're doing, especially when you are doing it for a living.
So I'll take that as a no.
I respect what they do. I respect them as songwriters. I respect them as performers. I don't necessarily care for Neil Diamond's versions of songs that he's written for other people. But I'm a believer for the
Yeah.
Monkees was
Great song.
incredible. A little
Great.
bit me, a little bit you. Fabulous song.
Great song. Great
But
song.
have you ever heard Neil Diamond? You know, he wrote the song Red Red Wine and it was given to UB40 and they did
Yeah.
a great reggae pop version. But
Yeah.
have you heard Neil Diamond's original version of Red Red
No.
Wine? It's really not good. And that's why it
Oh.
didn't chart. You know, he
didn't start
he
out as a
doesn't
performer.
he doesn't necessarily do it for me. But his writing is, you know, you can't argue with his talent.
No, you can't. That's what I'm trying to say. When you have people that have volume 3 greatest hits,
Mm-hmm.
like a George Strait, a Barry Manilow, Elton John, Billy Joel, there's not that many people that can do that. I mean, and they're actually all hits.
Yes.
A lot of that stuff, they're hits, and not like just an album filler. They're really huge.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. The audience is going to be kind of different, though, right? To come and see
Yeah.
something like that. But it's got to be special, though, right? I mean, it's
By the way, thanks, Ralph.
Oh, hi, Ralph.
Hello, Ralph. Hello, Ralphie boy.
Hey, Ralphie
I'm
boy.
looking at the comments.
I see Ralph, down there too, man. Great. How you got, Carol? How you doing too? And that's nice when you do that. You should listen to the performance. Wait, that's nice when they do that. Listen to the performance. Oh, thank you, Carol. Solitary Man. Yeah, my favorite Neil Diamond song is "Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon."
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's in my
That's
top
a
3.
good one. That's a good one. Before we get into the other good stuff, about another quick sponsor, that's Armando Supermarkets. Buy local, shop local with our good friend Danny Mazzi, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin. And Mike and Gigi from Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair for all your collision auto repair needs. Go to crashchampions.com. All right, so we are here with Mike and Tracy, good, clean fun, etc., etc. But right now, they've been working on this since last year, the Taylor Swift Experience. I think if I got that right. And now let's just get in another question. Are you fans of Taylor? Do you listen to Taylor when you're in your car and you're driving in the shower? I mean, is it something like, or is it just I'm
Good
doing it
question.
because it's a good business move?
Good question.
Yes.
It's a very good business move.
Yes.
I mean, I have people who hate Taylor, people who love Taylor. Everybody says, what a smart thing, because I'm entering a market that's not oversaturated, right?
Right. I think there's two or three other ones that I know.
In this area, and
area,
then there's a bunch out there all over the world.
Second part of that response is, do I like Taylor Swift? I do now. Mike came up with this idea. We would get requests for a particular Taylor Swift song at weddings all the time.
Wait, before my Taylor Swift idea,
Yes.
I wanted to do, now get this. It was going to be a combo of Madonna and Lady Gaga, and we were going to call it Lady Madonna.
Ooh.
So anybody out there, you could steal that idea because we're not doing it.
Mike's always trying to come up with these concepts, right? Reinvent yourself. How can you reinvent yourself as an entertainer? But long story short, I wasn't aware that much of Taylor Swift. I mean, you know me. You know, we like the bubble gum and we like the oldies and we like the raspberries and we like,
Bay City Rollers.
I like 80s. I like 80s hair metal.
Ted Fiorita.
I love the Scorpions.
Little Jack Little.
Anyway, so I wasn't really aware of Taylor Swift except for like a couple songs. I knew Shake It Off and I knew We Are Never Getting Back Together and I Knew You Were Trouble. Because those were the hits that they would play on the radio. But I never really listened to new music that often. So
yeah, me either. I couldn't tell you what she sings at all. I mean, I know what she looks like. My daughter Gianna is a Swiftie, and you gotta. And here's what I was trying to tell people: you gotta give a kudos to the marketing department that they have, that she has. The management company, whatever it is, songs are so, to me, so someone that I did listen to, something, but when the clean cut type Taylor, can't do no wrong, mouth open thing like Napoleon Dynamite, it gets to the point where I just get nervous. You remember when you were in the 80s and you listen every time you turn the radio on, I can feel it coming in the air. It was like on and on and on. Or when you go to,
I wasn't born until 1984. So when
Okay.
you say remember in the 80s,
Oh, that's right. That's right. You forget. I'm sorry. And then, when you go to Hawaii or when you go to these Caribbean, when you're on the cruise, all
yes,
day long you hear "Don't worry, be
be
happy."
happy.
So you get
Yes.
to the point where it's in your face all the
It's
time. And so,
oversaturated. Yeah.
yes, yes,
Agreed.
that's the word. And why do you think, before we get into some facts and stuff like that, what do you think? Why Taylor Swift? I mean, she's not the Beatles, not Elvis.
Hmm. You
Tell
know
me,
what? She's
12
bigger
years.
than Jesus because John Lennon was bigger than Jesus, and she's bigger than John Lennon.
Yeah. Well, I can understand. Look, when John Lennon made that comment, 68, when you're at a Beatles show screaming and yelling and you don't think of anything else. So John did have a point. They just misinterpreted what Mr. Lennon said.
Right.
Yes,
As he said, I didn't mean I was greater. I just meant I was taller.
Tola. I meant I was more popular than Rod, not God. Rod. Anyway, yeah. So, what is the big thing? And the 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds are people who are buying records. They're not records, but they're downloading the Spotify. Why do you think it is so big? Because the thing that gets me, Trace and Mike, she's got sold more records than any other female singer in music history.
Yeah, she's
What
broken
is-
a lot of records. She's
yeah,
smashed records.
The haters would love to smash her records.
yeah, right. So I'm trying to say, really? Better than Barbara Streisand? Better than Cher? Better than
So-
Madonna?
Yeah, how do you answer that?
This is how I answer that objectively, because I have actually listened to all 10 of her albums because I've had to now that I'm
Yeah.
doing a tribute.
10
So-
albums, folks,
10
all different styles.
All different styles. So her first 3 albums were country music, and she won, country music awards. She won. Okay, so she was in country. She got out of country. She went to pop. She got out of pop. She dabbled in hip hop and electronica. She does folk. She does indie. Her style ranges so much that
So she keeps reinventing herself.
she does, but and I know people disagree with me, and that's okay, people. You are allowed to have your own opinion, and you are allowed to have a difference of opinion.
Believe it or
Thank
not, some people
Thank
out there
you.
hate the Beatles.
Thank you.
Greatest president that God ever created.
Anyway, besides that, go ahead. Yes.
So
That's a little dig to you know who. Anyway, go ahead.
So objectively, like I said earlier, I wasn't really aware of Taylor Swift songs. I didn't know much. I just knew a couple, and now I know so many. And now that I've been listening to especially her later albums, she has evolved. She's a woman. She's only 4 years younger than me.
Yeah,
She is
yeah.
my peer. She is basically the same age as me, and she started writing when she was 14 years old.
Right. And we think we talked about this too. She's not the Taylor that she once was. That's the thing. But Richard Hamlin just made a good comment. You can thank Toby Keith, the late great
Yes.
Toby Keith,
Yeah,
who
rest in
sang
peace,
Taylor
Toby Keith.
Swift, signed her at the age of 15. You can also thank her father, ironic, since her father
He did
bought
pay,
the record contract and invested in the record company.
but in her defense, a lot of parents support their kids. They instead of saying he bought her into the music industry, why don't people say Taylor's parents were so supportive that they uprooted themselves and moved to Nashville to support her music career?
Oh,
That works. That works to if you think logically like that, you're correct.
Because he's not buying out the arenas that she's selling
No,
out.
no. See, I always said this too.
Mhm.
If someone can get you in the door, absolutely.
Oh
But
yeah.
you have to keep yourself there, and that's
And
what
she
the artist-
has.
and
She
she
has.
now Bublé, didn't Bublé's grandfather get him in? And he proved himself, and he made a
Right.
success.
Mhm.
Right.
But on the other hand, you got Peter Lemongello. The mob got him in. What did he have? One hit, and he vanished.
that was
He
it.
slept with fishes.
Ba-dum-bump.
You're like an American eagle.
Anyway.
Spread your wings and fly.
Anyway, yeah, but and there's been a lot of people it's just kind of crazy. Now here's something that I don't get. This new record,
Mhm.
There's a lot of F-bombs on this new
There's on a
record.
couple of songs.
Now,
There's
now let's right there stop the
not the presses.
role model for the kids. That's a bunch
Okay.
of crap, and we all know that.
So,
Satanic Puppet. I heard a song called "Look What You Made Me Do."
which we do in our show, which is about a fight that she had with Kylie Jenner.
I know.
Actually.
It's very vindictive woman. This woman is very, very
She's-
vindictive.
She's very calculated.
Yes.
If it was a man doing it, I don't know that people would say, "Boy, he's so vindictive."
No, maybe because of her age. I think that's why people
Maybe.
are kind of freaking out.
Maybe.
The new one of the songs on the new record, Vigilante Shit.
Off of Midnight,
The
her
new
Midnight
record.
album. We
Now,
don't
how does a 12-year-old role model? Why does it go up to mommy and go, "Mommy"? What's with the Santa, the cat worshiping and the devil worshiping? And
As a
oh,
mother, I wouldn't let my daughter listen to a song entitled "Vigilante Shit," and that's why it wasn't released as a single. So
but it's
you have to,
yeah.
Parents still have to parent. We can't just let our kids listen to anything that they want to listen to.
Correct. Yeah. And I agree with you. It's just that when they're saying that she's so clean cut, that's even why I brought this stupid song up. I mean, come on. We all look at all the rock. Look at the Tardy B, whatever her name is.
Yeah, I don't listen to
She's
that.
always touching under. Don't call her such a role model to kids and
I
being this
think that
clean cut.
people. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep interrupting.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
I think that people say that she's such a role model for kids or for women in general. She's really well known for her philanthropy. I mean, her character, I know people have conspiracy theories and they say that she's this and she worships the devil and she does this. She's very open about her Christianity. She had a documentary called Miss Americana that came out right before COVID. She's talking with her parents. She was raised Christian. She went to a Christian school. Anyway.
Franciscan.
Yeah. She donates so much money, Tony. She donates money. For her birthday, she was asking everybody to donate $13 to the American Humane Society. That was what she wanted her Swifties to do for her birthday, because her birthday's on the 13th. So 13 is like their number. She gave her truck drivers $100,000 bonuses each from her.
Well, she should when she's got it.
And she
That's not being kind. You know what that's called? That's called a write-off.
Well, but she's acknowledging the fact that she could not have done that tour without even her truck drivers. Right. She's here, take this. This is a bonus for you. Thank you. She donates money. There was just a tornado in Hendersonville, which is where she grew up, which is where my uncles live. You met my uncles.
Sure.
And there was a tornado not too long ago, and she donated millions of dollars for cleanup. Every city that she tours in, she donates $1 million or something crazy like that to the city's food pantry.
But you know what's funny? We all know this shit. The people who really want to do it from the heart never mention it.
I don't know that she's mentioning it though. Like, people
there.
say,
Why do people? What I'm trying to say is, you guys know how much I love dogs, and I walk the dogs, and I do that almost no foundation. But what I'm trying to say is, I get it. She's got a good heart, and she tried to do the right thing. She takes care of her team, which we all know is very, very important. I do believe in that. I think you're right about that. It's just, the thing that gets me, my only thing is, stop making this now humbled role model thing. That's what I'm not getting.
A lot of hero worshiping, right?
The white Oprah. She's the white Oprah. And I'm not an Oprah fan, but that's just me. And then George, I don't know. You hear about the Soros and owns her, and now when she goes out, we were ripping Robert De Niro. We all did when he went on the award show and went for Biden and pushed Biden, and we ripped the View always do it every day, ripping former President Donald Trump. Now she's going to come out and tell all her lefties, Swifties, to vote for Joe Biden, correct? And they're all going to leave the country if Donald Trump becomes president. Now, is she going to make this speech during the Super Bowl?
No, I don't even, honestly, I
Think
don't know
she's
that she's really even going to show up to the Super Bowl. And actually, at the last game she was at, she mouthed at the cameraman, looked right at the cameraman when they were panning to her when she saw she was on the screen, and she said, "Leave me alone."
because
Yes,
they kept moving the
that
camera.
I did that. I have to give her credit. That's one part I have to give her credit for. You're absolutely right on that.
Just
She
sits
doesn't
up
want
in
the
that
camera
booth.
on her.
She's just sitting up in that booth watching the game, watching her boyfriend.
Well,
go
so
for
was
it.
everybody else. That's what I meant. Why her? I mean, Kardashians dated everybody on the team. They only showed her a couple times.
Yeah.
Or there's got to be other celebrities sitting in those booths.
There's got to
right?
be, but right now Taylor is like the biggest thing, and you can really blame the media for a lot of this stuff.
Absolutely. The good and bad.
Yes.
Just like when we're talking about social media.
Yes.
It's great because we need it for our
It
business,
is.
but it's also going to be
It's
very
the devil.
bad.
It's the devil.
What about the length? Now you can, like I think I told you when we first started. I think she's changing. She's not the Taylor. She got older. She's 34, singing songs to 12-year-olds. That's a little fucked up. But besides that, her language in her videos, there's a lot of F-bombs. And so that's the thing that I don't get where these role model, because I know it doesn't make sense to me. That's some of the things that are getting to me. De Niro may win the Oscar. You can't expect Trump slam if he does. Okay. Or you can expect. Okay. All right. There you go. Ellie Weinhardt. We all love Ellie. Joan Rivers, of course. She plays Joan Rivers. She was in the movie A League of Her Own with Madonna. And yes, very cool movie. There you go. Boyd, if she was a Republican, you would think she was gold.
That's an interesting point. And I do wonder if she was, saying to people, listen to Trump. He's got some great points. He's going to make America great again. I'm wondering what the right-winged friends of mine would be saying.
They would love
and
her.
And you know me, I don't do politics. I try to not be political.
Well, here's what you know what someone said to me, and if you know, when I started this show in 2020, I don't know what the Swift is. When I first heard the word Swifty, I thought it was a thing you buy to clean the kitchen, the floor. I didn't know. I mean, I'm surprised she's not jumped on that cross marketing. Anyway, it would have been kind of cool. So, Boyd, to answer your question, I don't think that makes a difference. I just don't understand it, and maybe because I'm trying to look at both sides, guys. I'm 61 years old.
Yes.
This music cannot relate to me.
Absolutely understandable.
But then look, and the craziness that's out there, Beatles. Let's go back to the Beatles. People are going crazy. Elvis, Menudo, New Kids on the Block, One Direction, Bay City Road, the Hysterica. And I believe that reason why we didn't see it as much because of social media.
There wasn't any. There wasn't any.
It helps blow it out of proportion.
Absolutely.
It's got a couple things here. She got a favorite drink called a French Blonde. You know what's in that? Any idea?
It sounds obscene.
So, there you go. Humble and nice, arrogant slob. You think she slumped? You know what? Myra, whatever her name is, Miley Cyrus. I don't know what she is either. But anyway, she got up, sang a song, no underwear, whatever it was. But when she won the award, she held Mariah Carey's hand and thanked her for being the model. When Taylor won and Celine Dion was there with the award.
What's that?
It's a Trumpinator. Anyway, when she gave her the award, I would go this way so I don't want to piss people off. Anyway, so when they gave her the award, she was like taking it from like she was taking it from an usher. And then at the end, they put a picture of her hugging her.
Okay, so again, from an objective standpoint, I've never won a Grammy, so I don't know how I would react if I won.
She's won how many Grammys?
A few.
But this was her fourth time winning Album of the Year, and she broke not only female record, but male record, all artists in history of any artist. So when she won, again, I don't know how I would have responded, but I do know that somebody just came out with a statement saying that Celine Dion, because of her autoimmune disease and she's got stiff body syndrome or something, asked to not be embraced or touched by anybody. So is that something that people aren't taking into consideration? I mean, the woman is like,
that's suspicious.
That's suspicious. That's how I answer
suspicious.
that question. I look at it from both sides. Would I have thanked Celine Dion, and would I have been like, oh my God, Celine Dion is giving me an award? Absolutely. If I was told, do not touch Celine Dion, do not embrace her, do not hug her, or if
I would have definitely went
Yes,
like that to her. I would have definitely did that. So I don't believe that shit. Number one, but number two, I would have definitely went.
Right.
You know, like Howie Mandel. You can't
Yes.
touch
Right, so
him.
just a fist
You
bump.
can't.
yeah,
Whatever. But you would at least go. You know, like this. Let's see what we got. Some common. Richard, just like any players in the game, if you're on the other team, we hate you, but when you're on our team, we love you. Just like
Good point.
Rodman. Well, I was always a Rodman fan because I always was a Pistons fan because they used to beat the hell out of the
gonna
Bulls.
say,
So I
that-
always used to like Rodman. There you go. Carol, my biggest issue is if you're getting paid to be a performer and making $1 billion and have that platform, they should keep their mouth shut as a role model. People won't want to hear the music. Carol, you're right there. She's right there and telling people to go out and get the vaccine.
Mm.
Well, see there, you got that line
and this
there.
is why I just keep my mouth shut. I show up where people tell me to show up. I get my little butt up on stage. I sing my songs.
She
I
puts
do my
the check in the
dance,
bank.
and I cash my check, Tony,
I
and
got
I
it.
go to bed.
No, I got it. That's what I'm just trying to say is I think that's why, look, I'm a big, huge De Niro fan. Huge. Just crush me.
Yeah.
Crush me. And it's not just, you know what? Put it on your Robert De Niro fan page. If you want to do that, put it on that. If Taylor wants to do what she does, put that part on her page. So you have to go into her page to, if nobody watches this show, they won't know that.
I will be
They would never know that.
greatest
I'm just saying.
president
Okay.
that
Oh,
God
I do
ever
Trump train on my show, but that's a
Yeah.
different story. But what I'm trying to say is, it's interesting. I think it's very difficult. Let's see. But they hung backstage, or look in her eyes and say, "Thank you very much, Celine." Okay. Let's see. Where's that again? Phyllis. Of course, our good friend Phyllis. The thing that made me go, what, was her 2 accepted speeches at this year's Grammys. Very self-serving. I even saw a few cringing faces by Ed Sheeran and Chrissy, I don't know who that is, and others. I don't think there will ever be forgotten that dissing Celine Dion. Okay, well, like I said, if she was told that, no embrace, but you could at least, like I said, and we both agree on that.
Yeah.
So that's a good
You know
point
what
there.
makes me cringe?
Awesome point. Thank you.
What
Go
makes
ahead.
me cringe is that on the new album, she's got a song where she's singing about resurrecting Hitler.
Okay.
Do you know
Now-
what? Do you know what he's doing?
Yeah. We talked
I don't
about
know,
this,
discuss
but
it. Let me
that,
stir it
actually,
a little
that,
bit more.
that was number 8 on the list. So I'm just trying to say is the role model thing where the 12-year-olds are listening to this. These are the same young kids are what thought, and they had what's his name, Zuckerberg from Google. He's on trial because they're trying to sue him because people committing suicide on TikTok and TikTok, whatever you call that stuff. Anyway, they're getting some issues with that. It's just amazing when you're that powerful, some things that you say, people will take to heart. And, if she was to say, hey, go shoot, they might grow up and go and start shooting people. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it's nuts out there. And it's just how she seems like she's very revengeful. I don't know. And maybe why she keep telling her dirty laundry in songs. Why do we need to know about her how many guys she slept with? She's 34
She's
years
34. I know she wrote the majority, again, when she was 15. She was writing about one of her boyfriends that she had in high school. I mean, what do you write about when you have life experience? What life experiences do you have in your teens and your 20s? That's when you are dating people, right? So her first 3 albums are one is about the guy that she thought was her true love. And I don't know too much about it because I am new to all of this still.
You're a newbie Swiftie.
I'm a newbie Swiftie. We just started this band in December. We just got our members in place early December. Mike came up with the concept at the beginning of November, got the band in place in December. And by the end of January, we are headlining dozens of festivals this summer. We've almost sold out the Des Plaines Theater, and we're headlining 2 other major theaters and we haven't even had a rehearsal yet.
There are still 2 seats left on the
Well, here's the thing about it. It's hot, and you'll get the parents to bring in the
Absolutely.
kids, which will be cool. And we're not talking about that part. That I totally understand. I'm happy everybody's doing that. Everybody should try to change things here and there,
Eric
and
Todd,
that's what
funny.
we're all trying to do, especially in this league. Yes.
Eric
What happened?
Todd, very funny.
Oh, Eric Todd. What do you
Hi,
say?
Eric.
Swift is back. Backing Biden makes sense since 90% of her songs are about choosing the wrong guy. Oh,
That was a good one.
anyway, that Eric Todd got it. Let's couple things here. Her new CD or record comes out April 19th. Tortured Poet Departed.
Department.
Am I reading that right?
Department. Yes.
Department. 13 Grammy wins. Interesting stuff. The whole Beyonce, Jay-Z thing, saying that Beyonce. Well, look, I wrote I got the top 10 most people who won the most Grammys. Beyonce's number 1. Number 2, George Solti. I don't know. Quincy Jones, number 3. Alison Krauss, number 4. Chick Corea, number 5. I don't even know who that person is. I don't know who that person is. Stevie Wonder, number 8. And Jay-Z was number 10. Total of them two have 56 total Grammys. But he was wrong for doing that too. If he was going to do that, he should have did it. And I said this on my show too. He should have put it on his own page. So if and I follow that, whatever you want to say on that, and this tour, I mean, Ted Nugent going off on her, calling it poppy nonsense. Well, Ted's a rocker, man. You got to understand, that's terrible Ted. It is what it is. But I didn't realize this till I read the Ted Nugent article that the Eras Tour, whatever that is, is the greatest music tour sold more in history.
Time.
So does that make it the best band singer ever, or because mommy's spending money for little baby Cindy and Joey and Bobby to go out and buy those tickets?
I will tell you, and again, I'm feeling like I'm defending her, but I'm not defending her. I'm just sharing things that I've learned
from
absolutely. Someone who didn't know anything really about Taylor. She performed that tour in all these different cities, whatever. She went on tour, and she performs for 3 solid hours, 3 straight hours. She performs.
Springsteen does that every day. Springsteen does that, and he's
But I can't condemn an artist who goes out and performs for 3 straight hours, puts on that big of a show. I mean, it's a great show. I watched it because I'm studying her, obviously. A live band.
All original music.
She writes all of her own music. She doesn't have a team of 20 people to write one song like your favorite Cardi B does. She writes her own music. She plays 4 different instruments. She plays live. She sings live, and she performs really well. It really was.
Here's what you got. Here's what people that watch the show, or people though, it's not the only reason why I don't like Taylor Swift, and I say it because this role model shit. That's it. No one talks about that. They talk about my kids love her because she's a role model. But with the cat and this, look what you made me do, and fuck bombs all over the place. That's not what you do.
She's not asking to be a role model. Maybe she just wants to sing her songs. Maybe she just wants to express her feelings and her opinions and her life stories, and she's not asking to be a role model.
Correct. And I don't think anybody wants to be a role model.
That's
I
a
think
lot of
you're
pressure.
correct about that. It's definitely a lot of pressure. That's the only part that gets me, which people don't get. First of all, like I said, I'm 61. I don't understand the whole concept of that. But, my very first concert as a kid was the Bay City Rollers. Okay? And I was like, the Bay City Rollers. I'm the only guy at the Uptown Theater. Me and my
Don't
my
we
buddy.
do the Bay City Rollers in our AM Radio Gold show, Tony?
There you go. We have to. But I'm trying to. But that's what I felt. That's what I can say on that end. I just think everybody's jumping on that. Her middle name is Allison, right? Taylor Allison Swift, if I'm pronouncing that right. Our favorite, or food, a food that she can't stand, sushi.
Did not know that.
She will not sushi. She will not eat sushi. Her favorite color is
that
red.
I know. And actually, if you're more into the rock music, Red would be the album that I would think that you would want to listen to. It rocks more. Her band is really the songs are more. Don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I want to just say,
There you go.
the effort.
Taylor Swift has allergies. She's allergic to tree nut. Her favorite animal are cats. Her favorite number is 13.
Because that's her
that.
birthday.
Yeah,
My
I got
favorite
it.
number's
Got it.
8.
And she has an eating. She has an eating
yes.
disorder.
She's
Supposedly,
very open about that.
health-wise. Very
Yes.
open about that. You know, and I have to give the other kid. I do believe. I, you know, like I said, she's out to be a role model. But then, if you look back at the time, let's go. Was Cher a role model to you guys? Not to you, but to the public.
Well,
Cher was when she came out and everything that she did. Madonna,
No.
you know, all the kids jumped in. They wore the clothes and right. But you know, she wasn't a virgin, even in her songs and whatever, right? Miley Cyrus, the Kardashians, Lady Gaga, Beyonce. When they all first came out, people were loving these people, and it's just I don't know. That's the stuff I just don't understand.
I think she's trying to evolve, just the same way the Beatles went from "Love Me Do"
To Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah, they changed. I think she's trying to change. She knows her audience is getting a little older, and she wants to move with them.
Do you think that it makes kind of effect when the kids got older, they stopped liking, like the Rollers when they go out in the 70s. Once you got to a certain age, New Kids on the Block, once you got to a certain age, you kind of start going away, and then there's going to be somebody else. Do you ever think there's going to be another woman like her to sell at everything that she does?
There might be another artist that would
Yeah.
come along that would be even bigger, just as big or bigger.
Mhm.
Especially, like you said, with the way the media and the platforms push everything and
Constantly
make things
change,
bigger.
Right. Technology develops. Social media wasn't around with Beatles and Elvis.
Right.
You know, is she only this big because of social media, because of marketing, because of media in general is just such a
Yeah. Well, and I listen, I got to give her credit. Number one, you know, I'm happy that she supports her man. That's cool to do. I think she's there for her side. I mean, you guys have been doing it forever. Nick and Phyllis, I mean, me and my wife, it's important that you have that person. And that part I have no problem with. She's a marketing genius.
I can't believe she's dating Kelsey Grammer. He's a little bit old for her.
A little older.
David Letterman.
Yeah, I got that joke from David Letterman.
That joke from David Letterman. The one person said, Taylor Swift is supposed to be a great player on the Chiefs. What position does he play? It's like, do you think they're going to show her whether she's at how many times? Let's take just a friendly vote. How many times do you think they'll show her during the Super Bowl?
If I were to
Sunday?
have to bet on a square for that, I would say
12.
Oh my God.
And Trace, I'm going to bet that. I'm surprised it didn't say 13.
Hey, you're quick.
All right.
There you go. Halftime. You think she'll actually be at the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I think there's a 50-50 chance. The Swifties are so insane about, well, it takes X amount of hours to travel to get from her venue to the airport. And then she has to get on that plane. And then the plane would have to travel, 12 hours to get from Tokyo to Las Vegas. And then from Las Vegas to there, she has to get to it's crazy.
I think it'll happen.
If she wants to be there, let her be there. She wants to go and see the.
Yeah. The question is that they're saying, will she make a surprise song with Usher?
I don't believe she will. I mean, the girl's going to be exhausted for one.
Michael, what do you think?
I wouldn't want to.
Do you think she just come up and it's planned that she comes walking out and singing something with Usher?
I think it could happen. Why not? That would be fun.
I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't put my money on that.
Swifties people would lose their minds,
Yeah.
good and bad, right? People would be like,
Let's go to FanDuel. Is FanDuel one of your sponsors?
Marketing genius to really do something for her fans, that would really skyrocket even more on that end. Here's another thing I didn't understand. Maybe you guys can help me. It's not really basically about Taylor. How do you lose best song and win best album?
Okay, so I actually
And I was going to think about this. This is not just because of that. I never realized it till I watched some of it while I was singing this Sunday. I didn't see much of the. I just watched it um, the volume because I was working. But she lost the song, but she won the best album. If it's the best album, it should be the best whole album,
Yeah,
Yeah.
explain that.
well, I mean, I think Flowers had more streams in a. You know what? I can't even give an
No,
explanation.
Flowers was pretty big.
I don't know how the Grammys work. I know my uncle won a Grammy.
Yes, he did.
And he
Yes,
he
he did.
probably would have thanked Celine Dion too. But I really don't know. We didn't watch the Grammys. So
Yeah.
it's not I wasn't that wrapped up in it. So I don't know how it has to do with the amount of downloads, streams, purchases of that one particular song.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what the Flowers was.
Mine only had the
I
one
did-
song, I think, from the album. When you win album of the year, it's because you had X amount of singles with X amount of number one hits, and right?
Right. I don't know how they judge.
Somebody Google that, and then you can come back tomorrow and let us know the answer.
There you go. Let us know. Absolutely. It's interesting stuff, though. But you know what? Think about it. When we were since Tracy's a lot younger, but I'm trying to say is, Mike, when you were starting and I was starting, you had to put records out, or you try to get a record deal. You try to get out there. You try to do that. There was no social media. If the agent didn't do this or the record company. Right now, you can just come up with a song. Could be a kid. Kid can just come up with something. It can go viral, and you can become famous.
That's true. A kid could come up with just a drum beat using a drum machine
Mm-hmm.
or a program in a computer and become famous. That's happened.
That's how Old Town
Town
Road
Road, yeah.
became a hit.
Okay, there you go. Now, Phyllis just answered my question here. The record of the year is for the production and what goes.
Thank you for the
Ah.
clarification, Phyllis.
Thank you, Phyllis. Now that makes a lot of sense. Oh, happy birthday, Joanne Lulo. We got some birthdays real fast, and then we'll get some other topics. Ladies and gentlemen, Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. Mike and Tracy from Good Clean Fun, and now the brand new Taylor Swift Experience coming to a theater near you and festival. Kevin Hart celebrating a birthday. Comic Jerry Adler, remember him? Hesh on The Sopranos, turns 95 years old. Rosa Parks, Black History Month, civic right leader. Very cool. Miles Green's mom, Lilia, up in heaven. Happy birthday. Corey Wells from Three Dog Night. Rest his soul is up in heaven. Remember Aaron Murphy? Tabitha and Bewitched turned 68 years old. Victor Bruno, King Tut on Batman, celebrating a birthday. Ron Romero from the Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here in downtown Joliet. Christopher Guest, Nigel from Spinal Tap turns birthday. Joe Pesci. Hi, Henry. Joe Pesci. Duff McKagan, of course, from Guns N' Roses. Bobby Brown. Barbara Hershey, 76. Nigel Bruce plays Watson, of course. And how cool is that? You're watching Ocean's Pit Leadership. We got some shows coming up, folks. Tuesday, the 13th, we'll be at Rockin' Ravioli with Frank and Dean show. Bill Saratella and yours truly. That's the 13th, Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll be at the Vixen Theater. But Tuesday night, Mojo's Jukebox will be opening for Mr. Big at the Arcada Theater, 80s rock band, which would be kind of cool. 14th, the Vixen Theater. 15th, Venuti. 16th, I'll be in Louisiana with our good friend Regina Karma. Folks will be up there. 16th and 17th, opening up a brand new casino called the Louisiana Downs. And then Rat Pack will be at Pier 290 in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Dinner and show. And last but not least, Chicago Hitmen with our good buddy Nick Sahajas, the piano man, and Mojo's Jukebox at the Des Plaines Theater May 2nd. Mike and Tracy, Good Clean Fun. Who else would you think is number two? If Taylor's this one getting all this, who you think the one underneath her, guy or girl, is right now?
I would have to defer to my daughter on that because I don't really listen to current music. I know
Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa. That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Yes. Dua
What?
Lipa.
What the heck is that?
What is a Dua Lipa?
Wait a minute. Isn't that something that girls had when they were young?
That they took
No.
medication for?
Actually, we do Dua Lipa songs, and
Dua
she had
Lipa.
that big hit with the Barbie movie.
Barbie
So,
movie?
yeah.
What's
I
that?
didn't see the Barbie movie. Joanne Lulo, happy birthday, my dear friend. I didn't see the Barbie movie either.
We
I
just
didn't.
watched it for the first time
So what
on
did you
an
actually
airplane while
think?
we were flying back from Florida. It was okay. I don't know what all the hype. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
it was, yeah.
I guess I understand what they were trying to
I
make
don't.
it about.
I don't get it. It wasn't good or bad.
What was that? You know what? That's a good thing, Tracy. Since you kind of understood, I didn't see it. So what would you think the message was? What were they trying?
It was trying to be a positive role model for women. Like, you are allowed to step out of your mold and be an individual and not be ruled by this misogynistic, male dominated world. It's okay for you to be yourself. Be yourself, basically.
I just feel like it's already been said. We're beyond that.
Yeah.
These stories have been put out there already. Women are advancing. They've been advancing, and they
for
made
many
it sound
many
like,
years, many
yeah,
years.
and they
Yes,
made
yes.
it sound like women are still Stepford wives, and they need to get out from behind the man. But I didn't.
It was a cute movie. I mean, I don't know that I thought it was amazing, but it was cute for what it was. It was
Well, you know
cute.
what? Like I said, and it's proven now, folks. If you notice, I mean, women right now, they're just on top of the world. Everything they're doing. Some women out there make a lot. Women out there probably making more money than men.
He
It's
makes
all
more than me.
changed. There you go. It's all changed. Remember, it used to be the guy used to have the mistress. Now it's the other way around. So you never know. It got to be looking Mike. Anyway, but it's interesting how Eric Todd, the Democrats and the NFL will let her use the space shuttle to get to. Okay, Eric Todd again from September Fest, and he played a couple.
Oh, you are a riot.
Oh, you were right. Chicago Med and Chicago Fires did a couple things. Didn't want to say it over the show, but why did Marvin ever get pregnant? Okay, we're going to leave out that one. Can't say that one on the show, but I'll save that one for next time. Anyway, we got about 7-8 minutes left. Guys, name movies that you've seen more than once.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. It's
Great
my
Wizard
movie.
of Oz.
Great movie. What else?
Back to the Future. Wizard of Oz. Back to the Future.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers, more than once. See,
Groundhog Day.
cool. And how about characters in movies that cannot be replaced? If you look at, can you get someone else playing Jeff Spicoli if it wasn't for Sean Penn? Can you get James Gandolfini, another one, to play Tony Soprano? Al Pacino. Who? Forrest Gump. Yeah, that was on my list too. Forrest Gump was number 12. Will Ferrell, anything he does in Elf would never be
Yes.
right.
Elf.
The guy who played Freddie Mercury. Holy
Oh,
shit.
I know.
That Remy,
fabulous.
I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but yeah, unbelievable. Heath Ledger and the Joker, incredible job. I think he did the Harry Potter cast. I don't think you can get other kids to do that. I mean, now we're just thinking out of Jim Carrey, anything Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, Robin Williams.
Yeah, right. I mean, even though there's a play running in Chicago and they show the promo, this guy looks just like the character in. That's what makeup does. But it's amazing. All that good stuff is happening. Just love that kind of stuff. Michael, what are you listening to these days?
What music do I listen to?
What do you listen to when you're not working?
I'm more of a talk radio guy, but if
Me
I
too.
was
Me too.
and a Taylor Swift guy because I'm studying. But if I wasn't listening to that, I go back to
cheap plug, but it was good. Go ahead.
I go back to the stuff I
good.
really like, which is anything Rat Packy, not just because you're my
Have you
buddy.
been really listening to that? Really?
Yeah, I love anything that's orchestrated. So Bublé, I love Nat King Cole,
Sam
and
Cooke.
kick-ass singers like Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke, I love him. God.
Yeah, that's
You ever notice he doesn't get the respect and he wrote those songs. Bring It On Home.
He's by far on a different level than other. I mean, he's just amazing. Chills.
Yeah, he's incredible. Someone just sent me this in here. Let's see, which is amazing. Taylor Swift makes $4.70 per second,
What?
285 $285 a minute, $17,000 per hour, $411,000 per day, $12.5 million a month, and $150 million a year.
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine? And Travis's salary is chump change. Absolutely. Absolutely. But then you get someone that sends this. This is Taylor. Taylor concerned about climate change. Her private jet emits more carbon in a single trip than your car in the entire lifetime. And that's the jet flew more than 200 times last year. But it's the car that's causing climate change. Do you guys believe in climate change?
I'm going to say yes, I do. I think I've witnessed it kind of firsthand when I went up. I visited the glaciers, and I was on a little bit of a tour, and they were showing me where the glacier has moved each year, where it should have been, but where it is now. And it was a little convincing.
Yeah, I kind of believe it too in some way. I mean, just look at Illinois itself. If you go back to all the winters in the last 20, we got lucky the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, but you always remember we'd always get tons of snow January, December, always. And this year we got maybe one snowstorm for like 3 days, right? And we haven't got anything since.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's just what and Tracy, you got a younger daughter. What do you tell her growing up in this if she comes and says, "Mom, they just put a tampon dispenser in the men's bathroom." What do you do that? Please tell me. And maybe you can give some advice to the younger kids or the parents that, this is something before when we were growing up, and I never had kids have to tell me this, but before you'd have to worry about the birds and the bees. That's all mom and dad had to worry about. What happens now? What do you,
So I do. And I don't feel like I'm one to give advice to anybody because I'm still trying to figure it out too. I have a 15-year-old girl that I'm trying to raise in a very different world right now. And perfect example, and I'll make it short, is we have a gentleman that stands in certain areas in our town where we live and holds up a sign that says transgender, what does it say? Trans men are not women. And that's all he does. He doesn't speak. People confront him. They get in his face. He doesn't do anything. He just stands there and holds the sign, and he's silent.
Right.
And so Ella and I actually had a conversation about that. And I asked her, I said, technically, from a scientific standpoint, he's right. And he's peacefully protesting and using his freedom of speech to stand on the corner with the sign. Is it hate speech? I don't know. Is it going to hurt people's feelings? Probably. Does he have a right to stand there and do it? Yes. Should he find something else more constructive to do with his time? Maybe. But I like Ella to be aware of all sides. And I like her to think from each side's perspective and where this person might be coming from. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, and what about like if you don't agree, something's completely wrong. You know it inside your heart, but you can't tell them that. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff that does happen. As parents, I'm sure that's got to happen.
It does happen. It does happen, but I am proud to know that Ella is educating herself to form her own opinion, because everybody is entitled to their own opinion, whether we like it or not. And
I love
that's
that one, actually.
The thing about America.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
and you know what? And I know they're trying to take that away. There's a lot of stuff has been, like, did you hear the new version of "Baby It's Cold Outside" by Usher? Changed the words, so it wasn't.
We still do the original version.
You got to do the original version. I mean, what's wrong with these people? I mean, I am surprised that the White House has not changed its name.
Yeah.
The Rainbow House?
yeah, whatever you want to call it. But I'm just surprised because the syrup and the coffee and this and the butter and all this. I mean, it's just crazy, and I don't know what's going to happen. Look, I'm 61. I don't know what's going to happen years from now. I'm just hoping that things can get a little better no matter what side you're on. I do believe, just to let people know, I believe that the guy that I like, you guys know him. I think he'll be good to come in here and fix our problems. But I don't think they're the future. I think maybe they need some younger people to come
Maybe
up.
young
And
blood.
the problem is, I don't know if there's that many young people that want to go through this.
Mhm.
Would you want to go through this? Why? You know, I don't get it. And just real fast, we got 1 second left here. Mike, what do you think of the music these days? New music? Anything that you like? Tracy, anything that's out of your realm that you guys are listening to? Hey, God, you should listen to this.
Wow. Good question.
It is a good question. I would say within the last 20 years, there has been stuff that I like. I'm really into, and so Zella, we love the Foo Fighters. We love Dave Grohl. We like Weezer.
They've been around for years.
Yeah, that's true.
I love Weezer too. Love
Yeah.
Weezer. Love Weezer. Foo Fighters are fantastic too.
I don't know that there's a new artist or new album or a new album that I would go out and buy. right now.
I have heard songs that I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. That's a really pretty song, or that's a great song. But I don't know that I've consistently heard like a band that I've been like, oh my God.
If Tony Ocean came out with an album.
Oh yeah. You and my mother. But thank you so much for that. Anyway, folks, we have come to the end of the hour. And first of all, I want to thank Mike and Tracy for coming out and doing this. You know, you didn't have to because, people do get there is a lot of attack on the artist that you're trying to do, but there's also a lot of love there too. So it is. what it is.
Screw them.
But it's there you go. I love that one. That's true. But I do believe what's a good thing about it also too, it gives the variety of people a chance to go out and see whether they like it or not. It's like going to a Broadway play. It opens. You either like it, you don't. Whatever it is, it's not your cup
It's
of
going to be
tea.
a great show.
But you got to go out and support. My thing I say every day is go out and support local entertainment, no matter what they're doing, and support local establishments. Last but not least, we got to say Ace Hardware. That's right. Buy local, shop local. Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, and Warrenville. The groundhog has spoken, and we'll have an early spring. Be ready for your JRC Hardware Ace stores are stocking up with all their spring lawn and garden needs. That's our good friends. And don't forget to sign up for the Ace Rewards app. Easy way to keep track of your points, coupons, and special offers. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Tomorrow, my co-host, my lovely wife, Laura Ocean, will be back. And I'm sure she's going to be hitting me over the head because of today's show. Anyway, so Mike and Tracy, where are you guys this weekend?
Friday night, we're at Sheffield in Elk Grove Village. I know you're going to be there soon too. And
Hometown. Where else? Saturday
night, we will be at Johnny's Kitchen and Tap in Glenview.
Okay, guys, if they want to book Good Clean Fun, Taylor Swift, all that stuff you guys going on, where do they go?
GoodCleanFunBand.com.
Okay, that's all it is, folks. I want to thank you all, guys. Remember, buy local, shop local, support local establishments and live entertainment. And the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love. We need peace now more than ever, guys. And prediction, real fast. Kansas City or 49ers, who wins?
Kansas City.
Michael?
It's a conspiracy. They're going to win.
NFL bought the rights. Absolutely. Anyway, guys.
She's going to press the button, which is going to hypnotize us all to vote.
There we go. Vote the other way. Okay. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Nick Sahajas, the piano man, take us out. Goodbye, everybody.
Time to go. It's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
That's all, folks. God bless you guys. Have a